For 3 years, Ethan Vance and Claire Winters were married. They lived like neighbors, and not the kind who borrow a cup of sugar and occasionally sleep together. Theirs was a relationship of pure, unadulterated apathy. He needed the money for a life-or-death situation. She needed a warm body to heal from a broken heart. After parking their separate cars, they walked one after the other toward the entrance of the county courthouse, clutching the divorce papers they'd prepared the day before. "Come on," Ethan said, turning to look at Claire, who had stopped on the steps. "What are you waiting for? Are you really that desperate to divorce me? Does this make you that happy?" "Of course it does. I don't have to live like a monk anymore." "Why wouldn't I be happy?" he shot back. "Let's go." They're about to close. Without another word, he strode into the building. "Ethan Vance, you son of a bitch," Claire muttered under her breath. She'd never loved him. Their marriage was nothing more than a transaction. But seeing how utterly indifferent he was about ending, it ignited a strange, bitter spark of jealousy inside her. On the top floor of the Apex Global Tower, the CEO's executive assistant hung up her phone and took off at a near sprint toward the corner office. The frantic clicking of her heels against the polished marble floor echoed down the hallway in a panicked rhythm. "Ms. Gallagher, you're not going to believe this." The assistant, Amanda, burst into the office, a massive, irrepressible grin on her face. "Since when did you forget how to knock?" Sloane Gallagher said without looking up, her eyebrow arching in clear annoyance. "I'm so sorry, Ms. Gallagher. I'll go out and do it again." Amanda's face fell into a perfect picture of theatrical misery as she turned to leave. "Just stay, and don't do it again." "Yay." Amanda's smile instantly returned. "Thank you, my beautiful, magnanimous boss." She scurried over to Sloane's massive desk. "Spit it out, Amanda." "What is it?" Sloane asked, finally looking up and fixing her with a glare. "Good news. Incredible news. He's getting a divorce." Amanda was practically bouncing on her heels. "Someone else's divorce makes you this happy? Are you that bored?" Sloane dropped her pen and leaned back in her leather chair, studying her assistant. "I'm happy for you, Miss Gallagher. Why would you be happy for me about someone else's divorce?" Sloane said with a tired, helpless smile. "Because it's him. He's the one getting a divorce." Amanda stomped her foot in frustration. "God, it's Ethan. Ethan Vance is divorcing Claire Winters." Sloane shot up from her chair, her hands slamming onto the desk as she leaned toward Amanda. "Are you serious?" 100%. My source at the courthouse just called. They're there right now. Get the car. Now. We're going to the courthouse. On it, Ms. Gallagher." Amanda practically flew out of the office. Sloane grabbed her purse, pulled out a compact and a tube of lipstick, and quickly refreshed her makeup before running out the door. It didn't take long. Ethan and Claire were officially divorced. "Well, folks, as of this moment, you're no longer legally married," the county clerk said, stamping their 2 copies of the divorce decree. "Here you are." "Thank you," Ethan said, taking his copy and turning to walk out without a second glance. Seeing him leave so quickly, Claire snatched her papers and hurried after him. "Ethan, wait. What is it, Ms. Winters? Is there something else?" he asked, stopping and turning around. "You took care of me for 3 years, day in and day out. Don't you feel even a little bit sad about this? Did you really never feel anything for me?" she asked, walking toward him. "From the beginning, we were business partners," he countered. "You paid me to play a role for your parents and manage your life. I was just fulfilling my contractual obligations. Why would I be crazy enough to develop real feelings when I already knew the expiration date?" He paused. "Unless Ms. Winters has fallen for me. Having second thoughts? Bullshit. The only man I love is Dylan. I would never fall for a greedy, opportunistic guy like you," she snapped back. "Good. For a second there, I was worried you'd actually fallen for me and might do something stupid after this. Looks like I was overthinking it." He patted his chest in mock relief. "Shut up, you smartass." "Still," she continued, unable to let it go, "we were together for 3 years. You'd get attached to a stray cat in that amount of time." She composed herself. "Fine. I'll buy you one last dinner. A nice one. Don't feel like you have to thank me. But after that, you can't bother me ever again." "No thanks," he said flatly. "After eating with you for 3 years straight, even if you're not sick of me, I'm definitely sick of you. I'd rather go celebrate with someone else. Just make sure you honor our agreement and wire the remaining $200,000 to my account." He gave a lazy wave. "See you around, Ms. Winters." "Ethan, you..." Screech. Just as Ethan was about to walk away, a Rolls-Royce Phantom screeched to a halt directly in front of him, blocking his path. Behind it, 2 black Escalades pulled up, boxing him in. "Who the hell is this asshole? Think you own the road just because you're rich?" Ethan thought, taking a step back. The rear door of the Phantom opened slowly, and a long leg clad in sheer black stockings and a black stiletto emerged. The woman who stepped out was Amanda, Sloane's assistant. As Ethan's eyes scanned over her, another leg, just as long, just as perfect, appeared from the car's interior. Sloane, Gallagher. Ethan's jaw dropped. He looked like he'd just seen a ghost. It's been 5 years. I'm surprised you still remember me, Sloane said, her voice a low purr. She advanced on him, step by step, forcing him to back away. Ah, he chuckled nervously. Ms. Gallagher, you're one of the most famous entrepreneurs in New York. A billionaire CEO. Who doesn't know you? Are you scared of me? No, not at all, he said, waving his hands frantically while his eyes darted around, looking for any escape route. Then why can't you look at me? Sloane lunged forward and grabbed his tie, pulling him close until they were face to face. Answer me. I. Sloane Gallagher, what do you think you're doing? Let him go. Claire rushed forward and pushed Sloane away, her face a mask of fury. Ms. Winters, what I do with Ethan is none of your business. He's my man. How is it none of my business when you're all over him? Claire said, positioning herself between Sloane and Ethan. Without a word, Sloane snatched the divorce decree from Claire's hand and flipped it open. Wow, you're divorced. In that case, Ms. Winters, how can you possibly call him your man? She smirked. Are you that desperate? Just claiming any man you see as your own. So what if we're divorced? He was still my husband, and you don't get to just manhandle him, Claire retorted, snatching the papers back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see any of your usual entourage around today, Sloane said, her voice dangerously soft. If I really wanted to manhandle him, I don't think you could stop me. Sloane, you wouldn't dare. Claire spread her arms, shielding Ethan. Oh great, Ethan thought. Now I'm being protected by a woman. How pathetic. What's got into her today? We're divorced, and suddenly she's acting like this. Ethan, come with me, Sloane said, her gaze fixed on him, ignoring Claire completely. Her tone left no room for argument. Get out of my way. I don't need your help, Ethan said, pulling Claire aside. He straightened his suit, trying to project a calm he didn't feel. Sloane, look, what happened back then was an accident. I didn't mean to. He raised his hands, making a grasping motion in the air. You know, right? At his gesture, Sloane, the famously icy and imperious CEO, felt a blush creep up her neck. Ethan Vance, you pig, she hissed. Men, seize him and bring him with us. Yes, Ms. Gallagher. Sloane, her face still flushed, turned and got back in her car. In an instant, several large bodyguards swarmed from the escalades and surrounded Ethan. What are you doing? Let me go. Let him go. Claire tried to intervene, but 2 of the guards blocked her path while the other 3 expertly tied Ethan's hands with a cord. Mr. Vance, if you please, one of the guards said, nudging the bound Ethan toward the Phantom. Huh, okay, I'm getting in. Seeing the menacing looks on the faces of the 3 burly men, Ethan wisely complied and slid into the car next to Sloane. Drive, Sloane commanded. The Phantom pulled away smoothly, the escalades following in perfect formation. Sloane Gallagher, you shameless bitch, Claire yelled after the departing cars, stomping her foot in fury. You competed with me for everything in college, and now you're stealing my man. This isn't over. She took a deep breath, a cruel smile touching her lips. Serves you right, Ethan Vance. Let's see how you handle that she-devil. When she's done with you, we'll see if you come crawling back to me. With that, she shoved her divorce decree into her purse and stalked back to her car. Ms. Gallagher, Ethan began inside the car. Seeing as I'm in your vehicle and can't exactly run away, could you maybe untie me? No, Sloane replied coldly, staring straight ahead. Ahem, Ms. Gallagher, that whole incident. It was a long time ago. Can't you be the bigger person and just let it go? Shut up, she snapped. Fine. Ethan sighed, resigning himself to his fate. He had, after all, been in the wrong. Sloane's mind drifted back to that day. It was after their college graduation. Ethan had suddenly appeared and confessed his feelings for her. After she'd rejected him, she stumbled, and as he reached out to steady her, his hands had landed squarely on her chest. She could still vividly remember the way the bastard had squeezed, twice. The memory sent another wave of heat across her face. Bring him inside. The car stopped in front of Sloane's sprawling modern villa. After she got out, she issued the order. The bodyguards pushed Ethan into the house, tossed him onto a plush sofa, and departed. Sloane, however, went straight upstairs, leaving him alone in the cavernous living room. A short while later, she descended the grand staircase, now wearing a slinky, floor-length red silk nightgown with spaghetti straps. Ethan's eyes followed her every move until she reached the bottom. "Like what you see?" she asked. The question snapped him back to reality. He swallowed hard. "I'm sorry, Miss Gallagher." He quickly looked down. "Damn it, I haven't even cleared up the last misunderstanding, and now I've probably offended the she-devil again." Sloane didn't seem to mind. She walked to the bar, poured 2 glasses of red wine, and sat down next to him on the sofa. "Ms. Gallagher, about that day. It was all my fault. I shouldn't have confessed to you, and I definitely shouldn't have disrespected you," he stammered. "I was just trying to catch you. It was a total accident. You have to believe me." He remembered seeing another guy confess to Sloane right after him, only to have her smash a brick over the poor bastard's head. It was only later that he learned she was a notorious terror on campus, known for getting physical at the slightest provocation. She'd even taken Krav Maga and could easily handle 2 or 3 guys at once. Thinking back, he considered himself lucky she hadn't brained him with a brick that day. "If it weren't for my idiot roommates goading me, I never would have confessed to Sloane Gallagher in the first place." "What did you say?" "Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. He said, quickly snapping out his thoughts. "Here, have a drink with me." Sloane held out a glass to him. "Ms. Gallagher, you see." He gestured with his head toward his bound hands. "Right, I forgot." She paused. "Open your mouth." He hesitated for a moment, then complied. Sloane brought the glass to his lips and slowly tilted it, pouring the wine into his mouth. "Cough, cough. How's the wine?" "It's good." "Very nice," he managed. Sloane set down the empty glass and draped an arm over his shoulder. "Want to try drinking another way? It tastes even better." She gently caressed his cheek with her arm. "What? What other way?" She sat up straight, picked up her own glass, and took a sip, but didn't swallow. Then, she cupped his face with both hands and kissed him. MMPH. His hands were tied, leaving him helpless as she forced the wine from her mouth into his. "Cough, cough. See? Doesn't that taste better?" she murmured. Ms. Gallagher, what is this?" he asked, his face a mask of shock. "After you confessed me back then, why did you never follow up?" she asked, tilting his chin up to meet her gaze. "What the hell does this woman want?" He wondered frantically. I realized I wasn't good enough for you, so I gave up. If I tell her it was a bet with my roommates, she'll flay me alive." "You didn't even try? How would you know if you were good enough for me or not?" She traced a slow circle on his chest with her finger. "Ms. Gallagher, please don't tease me. You're an heiress, and I'm just a regular guy. How could I possibly be good enough for you? What if I say you are?" She pressed herself against him, her warm breath ghosting across his face. He swallowed hard, his eyes darting around. "Ms. Gallagher, you deserve better. You're the best," she whispered, her hand sliding from his chin down to his thigh, then slowly, deliberately moving inward. "Wait, Ms. Gallagher. What's wrong?" "Can't take it anymore," she purred, her eyes glancing down. "Ms. Gallagher, you're playing with fire," he growled, trying to inch away. "Oh," she said, a wicked glint in her eyes. "Putting out fires is my specialty, especially the big, raging ones, the kind that never seem to burn out. Want to find out?" She hooked a finger into the placket of his shirt and pulled him close again. "What will it take for you to let me go?" "Let you go." She released him and sat up, pretending to think. "All right, you're divorced from Claire Winters, so you won't be going back to her company." She smiled. "Come work for me, as my personal assistant." "No," he blurted out without a second thought. "I'm trying to get away from you, not work for you. Do you think I'm an idiot? Then I guess we have nothing to discuss." She stood up. "I'll just have to keep you tied up here and come by every day to fan the flames. You can experience what it's like to burn alive." "That's illegal imprisonment," he shouted after her. "No," she said, turning back with a smirk. "I'm just helping you light a fire." She started up the stairs. "Think about it. You can give me your answer tomorrow." At an upscale French bistro, Claire Winters was enjoying a candlelit dinner with her first love, Dylan Price, who had just returned to the country. Years ago, Claire's parents had disapproved of their relationship, forcing Dylan to move abroad and planting the seed for Claire's idea of hiring a husband. He had returned just 2 days ago, right as her contract with Ethan was expiring. "Dylan, I want you to come work at my company tomorrow," Claire said, setting down her fork. Her face was aglow with dreams of a perfect future. "When the time is right, I'll introduce you to my parents. With your credentials now, I'm sure they'll approve of us this time." "I won't let you down," Dylan said, adjusting his glasses. He reached across the table to take her hand. "You've had to put up with so much for all these years." Claire instinctively pulled her hand away. Dylan froze. "Dylan, let's just eat," she said, her voice suddenly distant. "We'll have plenty of time. Later, right?" He awkwardly withdrew his hand. What is wrong with me? Claire thought, picking at the steak on her plate. Why do I feel like I'm cheating? Like I'm betraying that bastard. The next morning, Sloane came downstairs to find Ethan still tied up, asleep on the sofa. She sat beside him and gently brushed a stray lock of hair from his handsome face. This time, she whispered, I won't let anyone take you from me. Sloane, what are you doing now? Ethan's eyes fluttered open at the sensation, and he found her sitting over him. He jolted upright and checked his clothes. Relax. I wouldn't force you, she said, her fingers tracing his jawline. Have you thought about it? My personal assistant, or stay tied up like this indefinitely. This woman is crazy enough to do anything, he thought. If I don't agree, she'll probably torture me to death. He let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll do it. Good boy. So, can you untie me now? Of course. Sloane deftly undid the knots. But I should warn you, don't even think about running. You know as well as I do that no one escapes my grasp in this city. She leaned in, her lips brushing his ear. I won't, Ethan said, rubbing his sore wrists. You must be hungry. Come eat. She took his hand and led him to the dining table. Maria, is breakfast ready? Yes, miss, the housekeeper replied, bringing out plates of food. Ethan never tried to run from Sloane's company. He knew it would be futile. Besides, the $1 million annual salary she offered was too tempting. His adopted sister, Jenna, had just recovered from her illness and now faced a mountain of physical therapy bills. The whole reason he'd entered into the contract marriage with Claire in the first place was to pay for Jenna's initial medical treatments. She was the only family he had from the group home where they grew up. His daily work consisted of catering to Sloane's every whim, brewing her coffee, fetching her water, massaging her shoulders, and accompanying her to dinners and shopping trips. Ms. Gallagher, if there's nothing else, can I head home now? Ethan asked after their dinner. I've been having trouble sleeping lately, Sloane said, taking his hand. Tonight, you're going to help me fall asleep. What? I don't think that's appropriate. What's not appropriate about it? Come on. Before he could protest further, she pulled him upstairs to her bedroom. The room was filled with a scent that was uniquely hers, and Ethan found himself taking a deep, secret breath. Ms. Gallagher, how exactly am I supposed to help you sleep? He asked, hovering awkwardly by the door while she lay down on the bed. Come here, she said, patting the space beside her. He hesitated, then cautiously walked over and sat on the edge of the bed. Take off my stockings. What? No, I can't do that. There are boundaries. I can't just take off your clothes. He shot to his feet, waving his hands in protest. I don't mind. And even if you want to do something more, I wouldn't blame you. She pulled him back down and placed his hand on her thigh. To hell with it, he thought. She's the one asking for it. If I refuse again, I'll just look like an idiot. Fine, he agreed. He gently hooked his finger under the lace edge of her stocking and slowly peeled it down her leg, keeping his face turned away the entire time. Get in. Lie down here, she commanded, patting the mattress again. Okay. He dutifully climbed into bed beside her. Tell me about your time at the group home, she said, closing her eyes. Maybe that will help me sleep. Oh. Ethan turned his head to look at her. When she's not being a tyrant, she's actually beautiful. And her body is incredible. When I was 3 years old, he began. When Sloane woke up in the morning, Ethan was still asleep beside her. She didn't get angry. Instead, a sweet smile graced her lips. Achoo. Sloane had been gently tickling his nose with her finger, and the sensation startled him awake. Ms. Gallagher. Seeing her face so close, he scrambled out of bed in a panic. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I fell asleep here. Let me guess, Sloane interrupted, propping herself up on one elbow to look at him. You're going to say you didn't mean for it to happen? I am, but would you believe me? He asked tentatively. Do you think I would? She countered with a lazy smile. You slept with me. Now, shouldn't you take responsibility for me? Ms. Gallagher, I didn't do anything. How would I know that? Do you have any proof that you didn't do anything? Ethan's face was a mask of despair. How could he possibly explain this? All right, fine, she said, her smile disappearing. She sat up. Go get my clothes for me. You're coming with me today to meet someone important. Okay, right away. Ethan practically fled the room. Damn it, he thought, slapping his forehead. How did I fall asleep in Sloane Gallagher's bed? He rushed to Sloane's walk-in closet. Dylan, can you come pick me up? I need you to go with me to meet someone today. Claire called Dylan as soon as she woke up. Of course, Claire. I'm on my way. Ms. Gallagher, who is this person that you have to meet with him personally? Ethan asked from the driver's seat, glancing at Sloane in the rearview mirror. Someone who is critical to the future of our company. We've hit a wall in our new pharmaceutical research and development, Sloane explained, her tone unusually serious. She was the top student of the most renowned professor in the field. She just moved back to the States. If we can get her on our team, Apex will become the undisputed leader in the industry. Wow, she sounds like a big deal. She is. I just don't know if I'll be able to persuade her to join us. Ethan nodded, focusing on the road. Sloane's car pulled up to the curb in front of the Grand Astoria Hotel. They got out and went straight to the penthouse suite. Knock, knock. Sloane rapped on the door. Hello, I'm Sloane Gallagher from Apex Global. I have an appointment with Professor Ramsey. The door opened, and a man appeared. Professor Ramsey just stepped out, but she'll be back shortly. She said you should wait for her. Please come in. The man ushered them into the suite. Have a seat. I'll give the professor a call. Thank you. They sat down in a lavishly appointed living room. When she gets here, don't say anything stupid, Sloane whispered. Don't worry. Today, I'm only bringing my eyes and ears. A few minutes later, they heard the door open again. Professor, you're back. Where are they? In the living room. The sound of heels clicked rapidly on the floor, and a young woman in a simple white dress with a sweet, innocent face walked into the room. Ethan blinked, then glanced at Sloane. You gotta be kidding me. Her? She's the professor? She looks way too young. Hello, you must be Professor Leah Ramsey, Sloane said, standing up and extending her hand. I'm Sloane Gallagher of Apex Global. Hello, I'm Leah Ramsey. She turned to Ethan, her eyes lighting up. Ethan, it's you. We meet again. She held out her hand, but Ethan just stared, frozen. Oh, hello, Professor Ramsey. Please call me Leah. He quickly shook her hand. Do we know each other? I was a freshman when you were a senior in high school. You saved me once. Seeing him again, Leah was visibly thrilled. Huh, I don't remember saving you. One night in high school, a girl was cornered by a few creeps. You happened to be passing by and saved her. Her eyes shone as she recounted the memory. You fought them off and told the girl to run. Don't you remember? Oh, I think I do remember something like that. That girl was you. Yes, it was me, Ethan. It was too dark that night. I never saw your face clearly, he said, scratching his head awkwardly. Well, this is an unexpected development, Sloane thought. Maybe landing her won't be so hard after all. Professor Ramsey, Sloane interjected. Shall we discuss the partnership? Of course, please sit. Our company's facilities and equipment are on par with, if not better than, anything you'd find overseas. Our labs are. Is Ethan working at your company now? Leah interrupted. Yes, he is, Sloane said, slightly thrown off. Okay, I'll do it. I'll join your company, Leah said happily. Sloane was stunned. All the carefully prepared talking points she had were now useless. Wherever Ethan is, that's where I'll be, Leah said, gazing at him with undisguised affection. Oh, I get it now, Sloane realized with a jolt. I just hired my own romantic rival. Seeing the look in Leah's eyes, she finally understood why she had agreed so quickly. Leah, don't you want to look at the contract? Your compensation package? Ethan asked, equally surprised. I don't need to. I trust you wouldn't let me get cheated, Ethan. Ethan, I heard you got divorced. Leah asked suddenly. Huh? Yes, a little while ago. That's wonderful. Leah was so excited she grabbed his hand. A great man like you. She didn't know how to appreciate you. She's definitely going to regret it. She quickly tried to correct her slip-up, but she didn't let go of his hand. I doubt she'll regret it. There were no feelings between us, Ethan said, gently pulling his hand away as he caught the murderous glare from Sloane. You'll find someone better, Leah said sweetly. By the way, I just moved back to the city and don't have a place yet. Could you help me look for an apartment tomorrow? She grabbed his hand again, her eyes pleading. Professor, I'm sorry, Sloane cut in smoothly, but he has to accompany me to a meeting with a very important client tomorrow. He won't be able to help you. She pried Ethan's hand from Leah's grasp and took Leah's instead. But don't worry about looking. As a signing bonus, I'll give you a condo, but don't mention it. Think of it as a welcome gift. Now, shall we sign the contract? Sloane opened the folder and placed it in front of Leah. Leah glanced at Ethan, then picked up the pen and signed her name. As she signed, Sloane shot Ethan a look, raising her fist in a clear threat. He quickly turned his head away. Well, we'll be going now. We'll have to take you to dinner some other time, Sloane said. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Professor. They both stood and shook hands again. Then Sloane grabbed Ethan and practically dragged him out of the room. Ethan, can we have dinner together tonight? Leah called after them. He doesn't have time. He has to work late. Sloane called back over her shoulder. Goodbye, Professor. She stabbed the button for the ground floor of the elevator. As the elevator doors closed, Leah let out a joyful laugh. Ethan, she whispered, I finally found you. She twirled like a little girl, dancing down the hallway back to her room. You like that type? Sloane asked once they were outside the hotel. What? I just met her. How can I like or dislike her? If that's what you're into, I can be like that too. Sloane suddenly adopted a cloying, high-pitched voice. Effie Pooh, will you tuck me in a Betty Bye tonight? I'm so scared all by myself. She tugged on his sleeve and wiggled her body. Ms. Gallagher, I think I prefer the ruthless CEO version of you. This is giving me a heart attack. Ethan pulled his sleeve away and took a step back. You seem to be enjoying it just fine a minute ago. I was not, he protested. Ethan Vance, you listen to me, she said, her voice dropping back to its usual commanding tone. She grabbed the front of his shirt. You slept in my bed last night. That makes you mine. If I catch you looking at another woman again, I'll castrate you. She made a fist and feigned a punch toward his groin, causing him to instinctively cover himself. Last night Before he could finish, a car pulled up beside them. The doors opened, and Claire and Dylan got out. What are you two doing? Have you no shame? Claire spat, seeing Sloane and Ethan standing so close. Ms. Winters, Sloane said sweetly. Isn't it obvious? We're doing what adults do. You're both disgusting, Claire seethed. At least I'm getting some, Sloane retorted. I heard you were married to my boyfriend for 3 years, and you're still a virgin. Is there something wrong with you, Ms. Winters? Or is it that you just couldn't hold his interest? Because from where I'm standing, my boyfriend seems plenty interested. She let go of Ethan's shirt and linked her arm through his. Sloane, what are you talking about? We never. Ethan whispered, but a sharp look from her silenced him. I've always heard you were promiscuous, that you go through men faster than you go through clothes. I guess the rumors are true, Claire said, taking a deep breath to compose herself. Better than being a dog in the manger, Sloane shot back. You must be Ethan Vance, Dylan said, stepping forward and looking Ethan up and down, pointedly flashing his expensive watch. Thank you for taking care of Claire these past 3 years. But I'm back now, so you, the placeholder, can stay far away from her. Oh, no problem at all. I should be thanking you, Ethan replied with a lazy smirk. If you hadn't dumped her, I never would have had the chance to live in a mansion with your girlfriend by my side every day. I especially enjoyed the nights she'd wander around in those flimsy little nightgowns. He let his eyes trail over Claire in a deliberately lewd way. Your girlfriend has a fantastic body. You. Enraged, Dylan grabbed Ethan's shirt, ready to throw a punch. You touch my man, and I guarantee you won't see tomorrow's sunrise, Sloane snarled. She moved with lightning speed, kicking Dylan squarely in the gut. Ugh, Dylan, are you okay? Claire rushed to help him up. You bitch, you hit me. I did. What are you going to do about it? Sloane raised her fist again, and Dylan scrambled to hide behind Claire. The move made Claire freeze for a second. Sloane, don't push it. Claire, I'll admit you have some business savvy, but your taste in men is atrocious. This coward? This is the man you pine for? He hides behind a woman at the first sign of trouble. Call that a man? She walked back to Ethan and took his arm again. Compared to my Ethan, he's nothing. Him? A greedy gold digger? He's not fit to shine Dylan's shoes. Whatever. I can't be bothered to argue with you. You'll find out soon enough just how foolish you've been, Sloane said with a wave of her hand. Claire, don't worry, Dylan piped up from behind her. I'll prove to you that I'm 100 times better than him. I have a Ph.D. from Stanford. What is he? You say one more word, and I'll knock your teeth out, Sloane threatened, brandishing her fist again. Dylan immediately ducked back behind Claire. Just wait until I secure the partnership with Professor Ramsey today. Then you'll see who's better, he boasted. It turned out Claire was also there to meet with Leah Ramsey. Oh, you're going to be disappointed today, Sloane said, holding up the signed contract. Professor Ramsey has already signed with Apex Global. Sloane, you're bluffing. You probably haven't even met her yet. I know your little tricks. Let's go, Dylan. We shouldn't keep the professor waiting, Claire said, striding into the hotel. You just wait. Dylan shouted over his shoulder before scurrying after Claire, terrified Sloane might attack him again. Your ex-wife is truly blind and arrogant, Sloane remarked. How did you know my marriage with Claire was just a contract? Ethan asked. Claire and I have been rivals since college. You think I wouldn't do my homework on my competition? That includes her private life. She smirked. So, should we wait here for her to come out and see the look on her face when she fails? Isn't that a little cruel? What? Feeling sorry for her. Sloane grabbed his shirt again. Why would I? She's not worth it. Let go of me. Ethan pried her hands off his collar. Hello. I'm Claire Winters, CEO of Winters Corp. I would like to invite you to join our company. You can name your terms. Upon meeting Leah, Claire got straight to the point. Professor Ramsey, I'm Claire's boyfriend. I have a Ph.D. from Stanford, Dylan announced, adjusting his glasses and puffing out his chest. If you join our company, I would be honored to serve as your deputy. You should consider this carefully. So, you're Claire Winters? Leah said, looking Claire up and down and completely ignoring Dylan. Professor, Did you not hear me? And who are you? I'm sorry, Professor Ramsey. He doesn't know how to speak to people. Please forgive him, Claire said, pulling Dylan aside. If you agree to join us, I can offer you 5% of the company's stock. Ms. Winters, I'm afraid I can't accept your offer. Why not? Professor, whatever your conditions are, we will do our best to meet them. Please, at least look at the contract. There's no need. I've already agreed to partner with Apex Global, Leah stated bluntly. Sloane Gallagher? Claire's face was a mask of disbelief. What right does that bitch have to compete with us? I have a Ph.D. from Stanford, and you choose her over us? Are you out of your mind? Dylan exploded. And that pretty boy with her, Ethan Vance. He's just a kept man, a useless freeloader. What do they possibly offer you? Are you? Shut up, Claire yelled, silencing him. I can ignore your insults to me, Leah said, her voice turning cold. But I suggest you don't slander Ethan again. Otherwise, I won't be so polite. You know Ethan? Claire asked, surprised. Yes. Not only do I know him, we're very close. He's the most important person in my life. Now do you understand why I chose Apex and not you? Then why did you agree to meet with us? I want to see what kind of person Ethan's ex-wife was. Leah's gaze was sharp. You had such a wonderful man, and you didn't cherish him. Ms. Winters, you truly are blind. What are you talking about? Ethan is a useless freeloader. Claire supported him for 3 years. And what did he ever do for her? What's so great about him? Dylan stepped forward to defend Claire. Slap. Leah's hand cracked across Dylan's face. You bastard, you hit me. I warned you. You slandered Ethan again. You were asking for it. You. Dylan, haven't you embarrassed me enough? Claire's voice was filled with disappointment. Get out. Claire, I was defending you. I said get out. Dylan wanted to argue, but the look in Claire's eyes sent him scurrying out of the room. You're in love with him? Claire asked quietly. Yes. I came back as soon as I heard he was divorced. The man you threw away, I will treasure him like a jewel. I see. In that case, I won't disturb you any longer. Claire picked up her contract folder and left the room. Miss Ramsey, are you sure you want to go to Apex Global? The man who had let them in asked after Claire left. Your mother wants you to come back and take over the family company. I'm a scientist. Does it seem plausible for me to run a tech company? Leah replied before disappearing into her bedroom. Claire, what happened? Did that bitch say no? Dylan asked as soon as she emerged from the hotel. Dylan, what's happened to you? What do you mean? Everything I did was for you. What did I do wrong? When I said, never mind, Claire cut him off. Just take me home. She turned and walked toward the car. Claire, wait for me. All right, you can go home. I'm tired today, Claire said when they arrived at her villa. Claire, aren't you going to eat? I know this great restaurant. Dylan started, getting out of the car. You go by yourself. I'm tired. She looked at him, her eyes filled with disgust. Claire. He wanted to say more, but she had already gone inside and shut the door. Defeated, he left. Lately, spending time with Dylan, Claire felt like he wasn't the same man she had fallen in love with all those years ago. And more, she found herself comparing him to Ethan. Ping. Sloane was in a meeting with her board of directors, leaving Ethan bored at his desk, scrolling through TikTok. Suddenly, his phone buzzed with a new message. Claire Winters. He sat up straight and opened it. I'll give you $5 million. Leave Sloane Gallagher. What is wrong with this woman? He thought. Not possible. He typed back. A moment later, another message came through. 10 million. You're insane. He replied, then went back to his video. Ethan Vance, you bastard. What's so good about Sloane Gallagher? Seeing his reply, Claire threw her phone onto the sofa in a rage. After joining the company, Leah Ramsey threw herself into her work at the lab, but often found excuses to visit Ethan. Ethan, she cooed, leaning over his desk with her chin in her hands. My car's in the shop for maintenance. Can you give me a ride home after work today? As Ethan turned, his eyes accidentally fell on the expanse of pale skin visible at her neckline. He quickly averted his gaze, only for it to land on her perfectly curved backside. He swallowed hard. I have to drive Miss Gallagher home. It's her car. I can't make that decision, he said, turning back to his computer screen. That's okay. I'll ask her. You could just drop me off after you drop her off. All right. Ethan, why is your face so red? Are you sick? Leah reached out to touch his forehead. Her proximity made his face burn even hotter. Her chest was right in front of him, and her light, floral perfume filled his senses. Leah, I'm fine. He gently pushed her away and stood up, subtly adjusting himself. Are you sure? I'm sure. You should get back to work. I'll find you when I'm done. He ushered her away from his desk. Slap. That two-timing bastard. He actually got turned on by her, Sloane muttered in her office, having watched the entire exchange on her security monitor. Sloane, darling, sorry to impose, but I'm going to have to hitch a ride with you today. You don't mind, do you? When Sloane came downstairs, she found Leah already waiting, arm in arm with Ethan. Of course not. I couldn't be happier, Sloane said through clenched teeth. And you, Ethan? You must be thrilled to have Leah riding with us, right? Whatever you say, Miss Gallagher, he said with a pained smile, pulling his arm from Leah's grasp. It's getting late, let's go. Let's, Leah said, quickly opening the front passenger door just as Sloane was reaching for it. Sloane froze, then clenched her hand into a fist. Ms. Gallagher, after you, Ethan said, holding open the rear door for her. He thought he was being considerate, but she just shot him a death glare. You're such a good driver, Ethan, Leah said during the ride, leaning over the center console to smile at him. I'm all right. I'm a terrible driver. Maybe you could give me some lessons sometime. Sure, Ethan stammered, catching a glimpse of Sloane's furious expression in the rearview mirror. Since Sloane's villa was the closest, he dropped her off first before continuing on with Leah. I was going to take my time and win your heart, but it looks like I can't wait any longer, Sloane murmured to herself as she watched the car drive away with Ethan and Leah inside. That bastard collects women way too fast. Well, Leah, this is you. I'm going to head back now, Ethan said, getting out to open her door. Ethan, you're already here. Why don't you come in for a bit? It's still early, and you'd just be going home to an empty place anyway. Before he could protest, she grabbed his hand and pulled him inside her apartment. Make yourself at home. I'm just going to change. Oh, okay. Leah lived alone in a massive duplex loft. Bored, Ethan wandered around the first floor, taking in the decor. He noticed a photo album on top of a grand piano and picked it up. When he opened it, his eyes widened in shock. Every single photo in the album was of him. After you saved me that day, I started watching you, a soft voice said from behind him. Leah was descending the stairs in a simple white nightgown. I would take an hour-long bus ride from my college just to see you at yours. I watched you play basketball, give speeches, play your guitar. Ethan quickly closed the album and put it back. Leah, that was nothing. Just a small thing. You shouldn't have. He couldn't meet her intense gaze. If it wasn't for you that day, I might have. I wouldn't be who I am today without you. You were like the sun in my life. She stepped closer. Ethan, I've always been in love with you. I came back as soon as I heard you were divorced. I didn't have the courage to tell you back then, and I missed my chance. I don't want to miss it again. Ting. As she advanced, he retreated, bumping into the piano and accidentally pressing a key. Leah, I think you're confusing gratitude with love, he said, turning his head away. She was now less than a foot from him. I'm very sure, Ethan. This is love. The kind where you can't stop thinking about someone, where you worry about them all the time. She slowly rose onto her tiptoes. Wait, he said, quickly sidestepping her. Leah, you need to calm down. Once you've had time to think clearly, you'll realize you don't feel this way about me. Are you still in love with Claire Winters? She asked, her back to him. Claire? No. I'm completely over her. I can't very well tell her our marriage was just for money, he thought. Is there someone else you like? No. Then we can try, she said happily, about to launch herself at him. He quickly backed away again. Leah, it's getting late. I have to go. He turned and fled out the door. Was I too forward? Leah wondered aloud after he left. Does he not like assertive women? Ring, ring, ring. In the middle of the night, a shrill ringtone jolted Ethan from his sleep. Hello, Ms. Gallagher. Do you know what time it is? He mumbled into the phone. Get over here, right now. I can't sleep, and you're going to help me. Sloane's voice commanded from the other end. Ms. Gallagher, if you can't sleep, take a pill. I'm not coming, he said, his own anger rising at being woken up. Then I'll have my men drag you over here. I'm coming. Fine. Her threat instantly cleared the fog of sleep from his brain. That she-devil was capable of anything. If he defied her, she'd probably do it. He threw on some clothes and headed out the door. Sloane had given him the code to her house, so he let himself in. Ms. Gallagher? I'm here. Can I come in? He called out, standing in front of her bedroom door on the second floor. When there was no answer, he reached out to knock, but the door swung open. Ms. Gallagher. Before he could finish, Sloane grabbed his shirt, yanked him into the room, and threw him onto the bed. Ms. Gallagher, you. He tried to get up, but she pushed him back down, pinning him. Ethan Vance, after tonight, you're my man, she declared, leaning down to kiss him. What are you doing? He shoved her off and sat up. Ms. Gallagher, you're not my type, and I'm not one of your boy toys. He was genuinely angry now. So you also think I'm some kind of slut, aren't you? Everyone knows you're a tyrant, a monster. They say you've slept with enough men to form a line out of the city. Well, I don't like using other people's leftovers, he spat, standing up and straightening his rumpled clothes. Huh. Sloane let out a hollow laugh. I thought after all this time, you'd know me better than that. Turns out you still believe what other people say. She stood up. Well, then, why don't you verify for yourself whether I'm the bad woman everyone says I am? Verify? How? What do you think? She said, tackling him back onto the bed and kissing him again. Sloane, you're crazy, he yelled, pushing her away. I heard you were married to Claire Winters for 3 years and never touched her. Do you just prefer to take care of things yourself? Or is it that you can't get it up? She taunted, her eyes flicking down to his crotch. That's bullshit. I'm a beast in bed. I'll talk. Why don't you show me? Sloane, you asked for this. Don't you dare regret it, he growled, flipping her over and pinning her beneath him. I, Sloane Gallagher, don't know the meaning of the word regret. On the other hand, you're a grown man who's afraid to take what's being offered. Makes me wonder if you're a man at all. Damn it, he cursed. Sloane, I'm going to teach you a lesson. He unbuttoned his shirt and lowered himself over her. The next morning, Ethan woke up to find Sloane curled against his chest, his face contorted in misery. I was so impulsive last night. I knew she was just trying to provoke me, and I fell for a hook, line, and sinker. He gently lifted her arm from around his waist and carefully slid to the edge of the bed. As he stood up, something caught his eye, a small, dark red stain on the pristine white sheets. She was a virgin? Then, you verified it for yourself now. Sloane's sleepy voice came from the bed. What do you have to say? He yelped, grabbing his clothes from the floor to cover himself. Ms. Gallagher, I'm sorry. He fled from the room. Sloane slowly opened her eyes and sat up, a triumphant smile on her lips. Now you can't escape. After that night, it was as if Sloane had become a different person. The tyrannical ice queen suddenly turned gentle. She would smile back when employees greeted her. Even when someone made a mistake, she would only criticize them calmly instead of tearing them a new one. Ethan, however, was a wreck. He had no idea how to act around her or how to define what they had just become. Ethan, honey, we haven't seen you around lately. Is work keeping you busy? Ethan was surprised to get a call from Claire's mother. It seemed Claire hadn't told her parents about the divorce yet. Hey, Mom. Yeah, things have been a little crazy at work. How are you and Dad doing? He asked, playing along. We're both fine. Don't you worry about us. That's good. So what's up? Well, it's just been so long since we've seen you. Could you come over for dinner tonight? I'll make all your favorites. He hesitated. Okay, Mom. I'll be there after work. I guess this is my chance to clear the air, he thought after hanging up. Claire's parents have been good to me. I owe it to them to tell them in person. Come in for a bit, Sloane asked as he pulled up to her villa. I can't, Ms. Gallagher. I have something to take care of. All right, then. Drive safe. Sloane watched his car disappear down the street before she went inside. Claire's recent coldness toward Dylan had apparently set off some alarm bells. He had been showering her with attention, showing up with small gifts and constant reassurances. Claire, I got you that boba from the place in Brooklyn you said you liked, he said, holding out the drink. Go on, try it. Is it the right one? Claire looked at him and, for the first time in days, gave him a small smile. I only mentioned it once. And he remembered, she thought, taking a sip. Maybe I've been misjudging him. It's time to tell my parents. Dylan, she said, come home with me. Really? He beamed, unable to hide his delight. Let's go. The two of them left her office together. Dad, Mom. Ethan arrived at the Winters' home with a few gifts in hand. Ethan, you're here. Come in, come in. Mrs. Winters greeted him warmly. Have a seat. Dinner's almost ready. She bustled back to the kitchen. Ethan, have you been busy? Mr. Winters said, putting down his book. That daughter of mine, honestly, she doesn't appreciate what a good husband she has. She could delegate more of her work. He sighed. I'll have a talk with her. Actually, Ethan, you're here. It's been forever, Claire's younger sister, Sophie, exclaimed, emerging from her room. Sophie, you're home from college? I heard you were coming, so I came back for the weekend, she said, plopping down next to him on the sofa. Everyone, come and eat. Mrs. Winters called from the dining room. Come on, Ethan. They all moved to the dining table and sat down. Hey, where's Claire? Didn't she come with you? Sophie asked. Yeah, where is she? Mrs. Winters chimed in. She's probably. Damn, Mom. The front door opened again. When they saw Dylan standing behind Claire, the mood at the table instantly soured. Everyone froze, except for Ethan. Ethan, what are you doing here? Claire demanded, her voice cold. Claire, you didn't come home with your husband, and you brought him here? Mr. Winters asked, pointing a trembling finger at Dylan. Mr. and Mrs. Winters, hello. I came to see you today. I brought you a small gift, Dylan said, holding up a bag. Oof. They ignored him completely. Mom, Dad, Dylan isn't the same broke student you used to look down on. He's a Stanford Ph.D. Now, he's not like other people, Claire said, pointedly glancing at Ethan. Claire, how dare you praise another man in front of your husband? Where's your respect for Ethan? Mr. Winters slammed his hand on the table and stood up. Let me be clear with you all, Claire announced. Ethan and I are divorced. What? The three of them stared in shock. And I'm going to be with Dylan. Before they could even process the first bombshell, the second one hit them. You ungrateful child. Mr. Winters turned to Ethan, his expression softening. Ethan, did she do you wrong? I apologize on her behalf. Please reconsider. Don't get this divorce. Dad, it's not about who did who wrong. You can see she loves him. I'm happy for them. Ethan said gently. It's for the best. Claire. Mr. Winters marched over to his daughter and slapped her hard across the face. You foolish girl. How could you divorce Ethan? He's such a good man. When you're busy at work, who's here taking care of us when we're sick? Ethan is, who has been nothing but devoted to you. And you throw him away for this thing? You'll regret this. Mrs. Winters cried. Mr. and Mrs. Winters, don't worry. When Claire and I get married, I'll treat you like my own parents. I'll take even better care of you than he ever did, Dylan promised, stepping forward. Get out. Who the hell do you think you are? Mr. Winters roared. I didn't like you 3 years ago, and I still don't like you now. Your character is nothing compared to Ethan's. You're not even fit to shine his shoes. Dad, how can you say that about Dylan? He's changed. He's so good to me, Claire protested. When you were together, he was cheating on you. As a man, he had to be supported by you. A person like that doesn't change. I don't care, Dad. I'm going to be with Dylan. Fine. Then you are no longer my daughter, and I am no longer your father. I only recognize one son-in-law, and that's Ethan Vance. Mr. Winters turned his back on her and sat next to Ethan. Ethan, my boy, our family has wronged you. Since it's come to this, I won't force you, but I have a proposal for you. Even though you and Claire are divorced, I don't want to lose you as a son-in-law. Would you still be willing to be a part of our family? The question stunned Ethan. Dad, Claire and I are divorced. How can I still be your son-in-law? We have more than one daughter. What about Sophie? I'll give you Sophie's hand in marriage. Ethan's jaw dropped. He's right, Ethan, Mrs. Winters added. Your father and I feel the same way. We love you. We don't want another son-in-law. Please say yes. Mom, Dad, are you insane? Claire shrieked. He was her brother-in-law. And have you even asked Sophie what she thinks? This isn't the dark ages. You can't just arrange her marriage. Sis, if Ethan is willing, then I'm willing too, Sophie whispered, her head bowed and her hands fidgeting under the table. Ethan, who had just taken a sip of water, nearly choked. Sophie, he's your brother-in-law. You're divorced. He's not my brother-in-law anymore, Sophie retorted, looking up defiantly. You're all crazy. I don't agree to this. Mom, Dad, Sophie, please listen to me, Ethan finally interjected. I can't accept this. Not just because of the whole ex-brother-in-law thing, but I'm 10 years older than her. It's not appropriate. Ethan, age doesn't matter when you love someone, Sophie said, glancing up at him shyly. Sophie, we're not right for each other, he said, his face a mask of discomfort. How about this, Mr. Winters proposed, sensing Ethan's predicament. Sophie will start working at the company tomorrow. You two can spend some more time together. If it works out, great. If not, your mother and I won't force you. He turned to Claire and Dylan. Now let's eat. You two can leave. Don't ruin our family dinner. Mom, Dad, Dylan, let's go, Claire said, seeing how close her parents were with Ethan. It was clear she had lost this battle. For now. Dylan's performance in front of her parents had deeply disappointed Claire. Claire, I think I did a great job with your parents today, don't you? He said proudly, adjusting the designer suit she had bought him. Dylan, just go home, she said, her eyes filled with disapproval. Okay, rest well. I'll pick you up tomorrow. She didn't respond, disappearing into her house without a backward glance. In her eyes, Dylan had acted like a complete buffoon. He was oblivious to how much her parents disliked him, yet he was still gloating. Carla, Claire said in her phone as soon as she was inside, I don't care how you do it, but I want a full background check on Dylan Price for the last 5 years. Everything. And I want it fast. Yes, Ms. Winters. The more she thought about it, the more things didn't add up. A man with a Ph.D. from Stanford should have a certain level of sophistication and awareness. But Dylan's recent behavior, his table manners, his posture, his way of speaking, was more like a common street thug than a highly educated man. Honey, you've been back for weeks. Why haven't you come to see your mother? Leah Ramsey was in her lab when her mother called. You're coming home tonight. That's an order. Mom, I've just been so busy with work. I'll come see you after I get off. I have to go. I'm in the middle of something. Leah hung up and went back to her reports. At the same time, Ethan's phone rang. It was Mrs. Gable, the director of the group home he grew up in. Ethan, do you have time tonight? The kids miss you. Could you stop by? Of course, Mrs. Gable. I'll be there after work. He suddenly felt a pang of guilt. It had been too long since his last visit. Mrs. Gable, how have you been? Ethan asked, arriving at the home after dropping Sloane off. I'm well, dear. Don't you worry about me. How are you? Ethan. Ethan. A group of small children swarmed him. Hey guys, did you miss me? He said, ruffling their hair. Yes, we missed you so much. Well, look what I brought you, he said, picking up several gift bags. Presents. Yay. The kids lined up to receive their gifts. Thank you, Ethan. Ethan, you're here, a teenage girl said, walking over. Jenna, how are you feeling? Any trouble lately? Ethan asked, his face full of concern. I'm much better, big brother. You don't have to worry, she said, sitting beside him and shooing away the younger children. That's good. Just remember to take it easy at school. No strenuous exercise. He pulled out his phone. Shoot, I forgot to send you your allowance for next month. Let me do that now. Ethan, I still have money left from last time. You should save it. You'll need it to find a wife someday, Jenna protested. Don't worry about it. I've got plenty. He transferred $2,000 to her account. Brother, when I start working, you can retire. I'll take care of you. Okay, he said, stroking her hair. I'll be waiting. Ethan, Mrs. Gable said, turning to him. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. What is it, Mrs. Gable? You entered that marriage with the Winters family to pay for Jenna's surgery. But now you're divorced. You're not getting any younger. Isn't it time you thought about finding someone to build a real life with? We'll see about that, he said with a wry smile. Mrs. Harrison, the woman who has been our benefactor all these years, contacted me. She's looking for a reliable young man for her daughter. I thought of you immediately, and I took the liberty of agreeing for you. This weekend, I want you to meet her daughter. A blind date. Ethan frowned. Mrs. Harrison is a wonderful person. Her daughter must be lovely. And without her donations, this home would have closed down years ago. Just think of it as doing an old woman a favor. Besides, she said, squeezing his hand, who knows? You might actually like her. Yeah, Ethan, you should go, Jenna chimed in. Maybe she's the one. Well, all right, he finally agreed. It's settled then. I'll text you the address. Mrs. Harrison has already booked a table for you. Mom, are you serious? What is this, the dark ages? You're setting me up on a blind date. Leah slammed her chopsticks on the table. I'm not going. You go if you want to. Don't you talk to me like that, young lady. You won't go on the dates I arrange. You look down on all the wealthy heirs I introduce you to, and you haven't brought a single man home in years. What do you want, Leah? Her mother's voice cracked. Your father passed away so young. I raised you all by myself. Do you really want me to die without ever holding a grandchild? Mom, don't say things like that. Dee, what are you talking about? Leah softened. I'll be bringing a son-in-law home for you very soon. You don't have to worry. But I'm not going on a blind date. Bang! Her mother slammed her hand on the table, her face livid. Leah flinched. Soon. I'm sick of hearing that word. Leah Ramsey, you're going on this date whether you like it or not. If you don't, you can forget about working at that little company of yours and come back to help me run mine. With that, her mother stood up and went to her room. Mom! Leah called after her, but she didn't turn back. Strangely enough, as soon as Sloane returned to her villa, she received an urgent summons from her own mother. Mom, what's so important it couldn't be said over the phone? Sloane asked, collapsing onto the sofa next to her mother. Sloane, do you remember last year when I felt them all? Her mother asked, taking her hand. Of course. You said a kind young man took you to the hospital and even paid your bill. Why are you bringing this up? My phone was dead. I couldn't call you. People were just walking around me. But he stopped, helped me up, and took me to the hospital. Everyone told him not to get involved, but he did it anyway. I've been trying to find him to thank him ever since, but I had no luck. She picked up a photograph on the coffee table. Until today, I was cleaning your room and found this old college photo of yours. The man who helped me. It was him, the boy in the background. What? Sloane snatched the photo. It was a picture of her in college, and on the steps behind her was a young man with a backpack looking up. It was Ethan. She had deliberately waited by the lecture hall that day just to get a picture with him in it. Sloane? Oh, what? Are you sure it was him? Absolutely. I'd never forget the face of the person who saved me. It was definitely him. Do you still keep in touch with him? Could you invite him over? I need to thank him properly. I think I can get in touch with him, Sloane said, a slow smile spreading across her face as she looked at the picture. Good. This weekend, then. Bring him home. Her mother gazed at the photo. I wonder if that young man is married yet. If not, I'd love to have him as a son-in-law. Mom, would you really want him as your son-in-law? Sloane asked, leaning against her mother. A boy that good? Of course I would. I'm just afraid he wouldn't want a hot-tempered girl like you, her mother teased, poking her forehead. Humph. You never know, Sloane said with a smug smile. Ethan, I'm falling for you more and more every day, Sloane purred. She had called him into her office and made him sit in her chair while she perched on the armrest, one hand on his shoulder, the other tilting his chin up. Ms. Gallagher, I think we should. Forget about it. I'm not. What? You sleep with me, and now you don't want to take responsibility. You said I didn't have to. I changed my mind, she said simply. She stood up and leaned against her desk. Ethan, am I really so repulsive to you? Ms. Gallagher, are you serious? Then why did you reject me so coldly when I confessed to you in college? So you've always thought I was just playing with you? Sloane's hand shot out and closed around his throat. Did you really think I didn't know you and your roommates made a bet? Cough, cough. He could barely breathe. Ms. Gallagher, you knew? Oomph, she snorted, releasing him. Then why didn't you treat me like those other guys? Why didn't you hit me with a brick? You really think I'm that violent? He nodded enthusiastically. Is that why you won't accept me? He nodded again. Ethan, do you know? I've liked you for a long time. Her expression turned serious. Sophomore year. Do you remember one rainy night outside the mall across from campus? You gave your umbrella to a girl and walked back to the dorms in the rain. Vaguely. That girl was me. She wrapped her arms around his neck, her eyes locked on his. I never believed in love at first sight, but then I met you. I started paying attention to you. When you and your roommates made that bet, I was so happy, but also so angry. I wanted you to genuinely like me, not use me as a game. She sighed. The reason I hit that other guy with a brick was because I saw you watching from a distance. I was trying to prove something to you, to show you I wasn't interested in him. I never imagined it would just make you think I was a violent lunatic. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. So, are you willing to accept me now? She asked, sliding on his lap. Can I have a little more time to think about it? He stammered, his hands gripping the arms of the chair. Am I not satisfying enough for you? Perhaps we should try again. Right here in my office? She whispered, leaning in to kiss him. Ms. Gallagher, that's not. Ms. Gallagher. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ms. Gallagher, I'll leave right now. The door had burst open, and Amanda stood there, frozen. Seeing the scene behind the desk, she quickly turned to flee. Stop. Ms. Gallagher, I'm sorry. You're getting more and more unprofessional. I'm so sorry, Ms. Gallagher. I know I was wrong. Amanda looked like a kicked puppy. The interruption had startled Ethan, who shoved Sloane off him and jumped to his feet. The push was a little too forceful, and Sloane nearly fell into the desk. He quickly turned his back, pretending to admire the art on the walls. What is it? Sloane asked, shooting Ethan's back a glare. Professor Ramsey would like to have lunch with you. She said she has something to discuss. Why didn't she just ask me herself? She sent you a text, but you didn't reply. Sloane checked her phone. There was indeed a message from Leah. I see. You can go now. Yes, Ms. Gallagher. Amanda scurried out of the office. Well, Ms. Gallagher, I should get back to work too. Call me if you need anything. Hey, you. Before she could finish, Ethan had already escaped. Sloane couldn't help but smile. Damn it, I forgot the most important thing, she muttered, picking up her phone. This weekend, you're coming home with me. My mother wants to meet you. She texted Ethan. Ms. Gallagher, isn't this a little fast? I'm not ready. Can we do it another time? I already have plans this weekend. He replied. No, was her only response. Ethan looked at the single word on his screen and tossed his phone onto his desk. Sloane, you have to help me. Leah wailed over lunch at a quiet cafe. What's wrong? You look miserable, Sloane said, sipping her coffee. My mom is making me go on a blind date, Leah said, her voice devoid of energy. So go, Sloane said cheerfully. Perfect, she thought. You go on a date with some other guy and leave my Ethan alone. But I don't want to. And if I don't, my mom says she's grounding me. A blind date isn't the end of the world. Who knows? He could be your soulmate. You should go, Sloane urged. He's definitely not. I've already found my soulmate. It's just that right now. Leah's face fell as she thought about Ethan not reciprocating her feelings. Keep dreaming, Sloane thought, stirring her coffee. Your soulmate is already in my bed. He's mine. So what are you going to do? You can't just break your mother's heart. You seem like a good daughter. I'm sure you wouldn't. You could come with me, and then you could make up an excuse and get me out of there, Leah suggested. All right, fine. I'll go with you, Sloane agreed after a moment. Oh, I'll get you out of there, all right. I'll do my best to make sure the guy sweeps you off your feet and takes you away permanently. Sloane, what are you smiling about? Huh? Oh, nothing. Just happy for you, I guess. What's there to be happy about? Leah grumbled. Sloane let out a quiet sigh of relief. You said you were busy today. Go do what you have to do. When you're done, I'll take you to my parents' house. Sloane texted Ethan before driving to Leah's place. Today was the day of the blind date. Sloane and Leah arrived at the designated restaurant early and were waiting in a private room. Meanwhile, Ethan took a cab to the address Mrs. Gable had given him. He stood outside the restaurant for a long moment before finally steeling himself and walking in. Room 103. This is it. He took a deep breath and pushed open the door. Ethan, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? The two women stared at him in unison, their faces a picture of shock. That bastard, Sloane thought, a wave of pleasure washing over her. He must have suspected I was meeting someone and followed me. He really does care. Oh no, Leah panicked. How do I explain this? He can't know I'm on a blind date. He'll think I'm a two-timer. My image in his eyes will be ruined. What are you guys doing here? Ethan asked, stepping back to check the room number again. Nope, this is the right place. He walked back in. Ms. Gallagher, Leah, did you get the wrong room? Oh, we got the wrong room, Leah said, a flicker of understanding in her eyes. Ethan, what are you doing here? Well, Mrs. Gable from the group home I grew up and asked me to meet. Her friend's daughter, he explained, glancing nervously at Sloane. You're on a blind date? You're on a blind date? The two women asked in perfect, horrified unison. Why are you so surprised? He mumbled. Yeah, I guess so. It suddenly dawned on him. Wait a minute. My blind date isn't. What are you, is it? He asked, pointing between them. Ethan Vance, you son of a bitch, Sloane fumed. So this was your something you had to do? Sneaking off on a blind date behind my back? I can't believe I thought you were here for me. I was such a fool. She glared at him, her eyes burning with rage. Leah, on the other hand, was beaming. Yes, your blind date is me, she declared, jumping up from her seat and rushing to his side. Ethan, now that you're here, we can skip the introductions. I'm in. Let's go see my mom right now and discuss the dowry. You can ask for whatever you want, don't hold back. She grabbed his arm and tried to pull him out of the room, completely forgetting about the fuming Sloane. Leah, wait, no. Leah Ramsey, you stop right there. Sloane charged forward and snatched Ethan's arm from Leah's grasp. What are you doing? He's my man. Why should he go home with you? Sloane declared. Today is my blind date with him, not yours. How is he your man? Because we're already together, and my mother is expecting him for dinner tonight. You say you're together, but has he admitted it? As they argued, Ethan tried several times to get a word in, but failed. Ethan, tell her we're together, and that you promised to meet my mother tonight. Ethan, don't be afraid of her. You're just her employee. You can quit. I'll take care of you. She turned back to him. Ethan, I'm the heiress to the Harrison Group. If you want, you can come work for us. My mother can make you a general manager. No, Leah, Ms. Gallagher and I. Look, you two are way out of my league. I just want to find a normal person and live a quiet life. Can't you just leave me alone? Ethan blurted out, his voice full of desperation. Leah Ramsey, you're a Harrison? No wonder you didn't even look at the salary I offered you. You were never in it for the money. You were after Ethan all along. Of course. Otherwise, I would have just started my own pharmaceutical company. Why would I come work for you? You manipulative bitch. You don't deserve him. Sloane's finger trembled as she pointed at Leah. Ignoring Ethan completely, they started fighting again. You're the one who doesn't deserve him. I'm the only one who's right for him. Ethan, who do you choose? Me or her? Yes, Ethan, who is it? Her or me? They both turned to look at him, their eyes demanding an answer. Can I not choose either of you? He asked meekly. No, they shouted in unison. Then, can I choose both of you? In your dreams. You think you can handle us? Look, I never wanted to get involved with a rich heiress, he said, finally losing his patience. My marriage to Claire was just a deal to pay for my sister's medical bills. People already think I'm some kind of greedy, gold-digging freeloader. Do you really want to ruin your reputations by being with me? Why don't you both do me a favor and just let me go? He begged, pressing his hands together. What's wrong with being a kept man? Other men would kill for this opportunity. You think just anyone is qualified? Sloane shot back. For once, I agree with her, Leah added. Can we just eat first? I'm starving, Ethan said, rubbing his stomach. Let me think about it, okay? Ethan, I won't force you, Leah said softly, but I'm not giving up. I'll show you with my actions that I'm the one for you. And I, Ethan Vance, will not let anyone steal you from me again, Sloane declared. How did my life get so complicated after my divorce? Ethan thought, looking from one woman to the other. This is too much. As the food arrived, the two women sat on either side of him, piling food onto his plate, peeling shrimp for him, and holding drinks to his lips. He didn't have to lift a finger, and by the end of it, he was stuffed. Ladies, please, I'm full. I can't eat another bite, he said, letting out a small burp. Okay, then, let me wipe your mouth, Leah said, grabbing a napkin. I can do it myself. Ethan, that suit is so old. Let me take you shopping for some new clothes, Sloane said, taking his arm. Leah Ramsey, you can go home now. The only one who should go home is you. Today was my blind date with Ethan. Why are you even here? Do you just enjoy being a third wheel? Leah stood up and pushed Sloane away, taking Ethan's other arm. Ethan, you don't have a car, right? Let's go pick one out. My treat. He doesn't need your charity. He could drive any car in my garage, Sloane retorted. And I already told you, he's with me. You're the third wheel. No, you are. They started pulling him in opposite directions. Stop, Ethan yelled, wrenching his arms free. I'm not buying clothes, and I'm not buying a car. All I want to do right now is go home and sleep. Understand? He glared at them both, then grabbed his jacket and walked out. The two women hurried after him. Don't follow me, he warned, not turning around. They froze in their tracks. He backed out of the room. But my mom is expecting you tonight, Sloane called out. Not going. Ethan, you met me on a blind date. Aren't you going to come home and meet my mom? Leah yelled. Not going to her place either, he shouted back, waving his hand dismissively as he walked away. This is all your fault. Leah stomped her foot. If I had known my blind date was him, I never would have brought you along. Excuse me? He's my man. You're the one trying to steal him from me, and now you're blaming me. Sloane laughed in disbelief. Oomph. We'll see who he chooses in the end, Leah said before storming out of the restaurant. You want to steal my man? Not a chance, Sloane muttered, leaving as well. Once outside, Ethan glanced back. Seeing that they weren't following him, he broke into a run, escaping the danger zone. So how was the blind date? Leah's mother asked as soon as she got home. Mom, the man you set me up with was perfect. I'm so happy, Leah exclaimed, giving her mother a big kiss on the cheek. You silly girl. You seem happy. He must be a nice boy. Why didn't you bring him home to meet me? Her mother asked, sitting beside her on the sofa. He hasn't said yes yet, Leah admitted, her happy expression instantly turning into a pout. Oh, is he that exceptional? He turned down the famous Professor Ramsey, the heiress to the Harrison Group? Now I'm even more interested in this young man. Don't worry, Mom. I'll win him over. You just get my dowry ready. All right, then. I'll be waiting for my wonderful son-in-law to show up at my door. Hey, Mom. I can't bring your savior over to meet you today. Maybe some other time, Sloane said into her phone. She had gone back to her own villa instead of her mother's. What happened? I had the cook buy all his favorite foods. Why isn't he coming? He had something to take care of. All right, fine. His business is more important. Just remember to ask him again when he's free. I will, Mom. Mr. Vance, there's a Ms. Winter's here to see you at the front desk. Okay, I'll be right down, Ethan said into the phone. What does Claire want now? He stood up and headed to the lobby. Ethan, Sophie, what are you doing here? It wasn't Claire, but her younger sister. Here, let's sit, he said, guiding her to a seating area. What's up? Ethan, I've started working at the company. I'm heading up a new AI division, and I wanted you to look over my business proposal. I know you're an expert in this field, she said, handing him a file. As he looked it over, she spoke again, her voice soft. Ethan, my parents really like you. They don't want to lose you as a son-in-law. They were hoping that we could spend more time together. He heard her loud and clear. Sophie, we talked about this. I was your brother-in-law. People will talk if we get together. You're a great girl. You could do better. Besides, that's just what your parents want. This is your life. You have to make your own choices. The business plan was solid. He knew it was just an excuse. Ethan, this has nothing to do with my parents. I've thought about this a lot. My sister didn't know how to appreciate you, but I do. I'm genuinely in love with you, she said, looking down. Sophie, you're still young. You don't fully understand these things yet. When you're a little older, you'll see I'm not that great. Ethan, for years, I've been looking for a boyfriend just like you. You were always my standard. Now that you and my sister are divorced, I realize I don't have to look anymore. There's no one else like you in the world. Maybe I've been in love with you all along. She looked down at herself. Am I really so much worse than my sister? No, you're not worse at all. It's just, I can't get past the fact that you were my sister-in-law. You understand, right? He said, his face a picture of agony. We're young. Who cares about things like that? As long as it's not illegal, why can't we? Ring. His phone rang, saving him. Excuse me, I have to take this. Ethan Vance, get to my office. Now, you have 3 minutes. Click. It was Sloane. She had hung up before he could reply. Sophie, I'm sorry, I have to go. I'll come see your parents another time. Ethan. Goodbye, go on home now. He practically fled up the stairs. Ethan, I'm not giving up, she called after him. Ms. Gallagher, you called for me? He asked, slightly out of breath as he entered her office. She didn't answer. She stood up, walked over, grabbed his tie, and pulled him to the lounge area, pushing him onto the sofa. Then she lifted the hem of her dress and sat on his lap. If I'm not mistaken, that was Claire Winters' little sister. Your former sister-in-law, correct? She said, her voice dangerously low as she tilted his chin up. Are you spying on me? He asked, lifting her off him and setting her down on the sofa beside him. If you would just behave and stop attracting every woman you meet, I wouldn't have to, she purred, wrapping her arms around his neck. I'm not attracting anyone. Don't make it sound so sordid. He removed her hands. I can't be this lenient with you. I should just lock you up at home. You could be my little pet. Sloane, don't be crazy. You're the one driving me crazy, she said with a wicked smile. Sloane, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know that, right? As long as it quenches my thirst. He loosened his tie in frustration. Ethan, why won't you give us a try? I could be the one for you, she said, her voice turning soft and sincere. Her sudden change in tone caught him off guard. For the first time, he felt a flicker of something in his heart. Really? Smooch. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed his cheek. This is an office. Can you please have some self-control? He said, wiping the spot she had kissed. It's my office. I can do whatever I want. Even if I wanted to. Right here. She glanced down, then blew a light, fragrant breath in his face. I have work to do. I'll just go, he stammered, swallowing hard before escaping her office. Ms. Winters, the report you asked for on Dylan Price is ready. Claire's secretary placed a file on her desk. Claire put down her work and opened the file. The further she read, the darker her expression became. Slap! That bastard! He dared to lie to me. She shot to her feet and slammed the file on her desk. Ms. Winters, this Dylan Price is a total scumbag. He didn't go abroad to study. He was kept by a rich older woman. When she threw him out, he came back to the States. He's been back for a while, actually. He even has a child with another woman, and he's been using your money to support them. We also found evidence that he's been taking kickbacks from suppliers by using substandard materials and embezzling funds from company projects. I trusted him. I never suspected a thing. How dare he do this to me? Claire's hands, braced on her desk, clenched into tight fists. Get him in here. Now. After her secretary left, Claire collapsed back in her chair. I divorced Ethan for a lowlife like this. How could I have been so stupid? She let out a bitter laugh as she looked at the photos of Dylan with another woman. Claire, you wanted to see me? Dylan walked in all smiles. What's wrong? He asked, seeing the murderous look on her face. Dylan, I had no idea you were such a good actor, she said, standing up slowly. Let me ask you, what did you really do when you were abroad? And when did you really come back? He took a step back, sensing danger. Claire, I went to study. I just got back. And I've been with you this whole time. Don't you trust me? You're still lying to me. Then what is this? She threw the file at him. He cautiously opened it. By the first page, his legs were trembling. By the time he saw the photos, he collapsed to the floor. Claire, listen to me. I love you. You're the only one I've ever loved. Those other women were just flings, he pleaded, crawling to her desk. You faked your degree. You were a kept man, you have a gambling addiction, and you've been sleeping with half the city since he got back, even fathering a child. You used my money to support your other life, and you want me to believe you. Her voice was dangerously calm. Dylan, you're about to find out what happens when you deceive Claire Winters. Security. At her command, several guards who had been waiting outside rushed in. Ms. Winters, beat him, she ordered, pointing at the pathetic man on the floor. Yes, ma'am. Claire, you can't do this to me. Give me another chance. I'll do anything you say. Do it. The sounds of fists hitting flesh filled the room, punctuated by Dylan's screams. After 10 minutes, Claire raised her hand. Dylan was a bloody, swollen mess on the floor. Claire, I was wrong. Please, forgive me, he whimpered. Forgive you? I want to skin you alive. You embezzled company funds and used faulty materials. I'm handing all of this evidence over to the police. You can reflect on your actions in prison. Claire, I was your first love. You can't do this. Get him out of my sight and take him to the police station, she roared. The guards dragged him away. I'm such a blind fool. Claire slapped herself across the face before sinking back into her chair. That night, a listless Claire returned home and found herself in the room Ethan used to live in. Ethan, I was wrong. Please come back, she sobbed, clutching his pillow. Later, she went to take a shower in the bathroom he had used. As the water cascaded over her, she noticed a small silver pendant on the counter. She turned off the water and picked it up. This must be Ethan's. She got dressed, took a picture of the pendant with her phone, and was about to send it to him when she stopped. Instead, she opened Instagram and posted the picture to her story. Huh, why does Claire have my pendant? Ethan was scrolling through his phone in bed when he saw her story. He immediately checked the small box in his nightstand drawer. It was empty. Did I forget it when I left? The pendant was the only thing he had from his birth parents, his only hope of ever finding them. He almost never wore it, keeping it safe in the box. He couldn't remember when he might have left it at Claire's, but he knew he had to get it back. He dialed her number. Seeing his name on her screen, a triumphant smile spread across Claire's face. "Hello, Claire. Why do you have my pendant? I need it back. It's very important to me," he said as soon as she answered. "You want it?" she purred, toying with the pendant. "Then you have to agree to one condition." "Fine, anything. Just name it. Come to my house tomorrow night. I'll tell you then." She hung up. "Hello, Claire. What is she playing at now?" he muttered, tossing his phone aside. The next evening, Sloane insisted Ethan have dinner with her. He was distracted the entire time. "What's wrong with you today? Something on your mind?" "Huh? Oh no, nothing. Are you done eating? I'll take you home," he said, putting down his fork. "Are you hiding something from me?" "Of course not. Let's go." "I can't exactly tell you I'm going to see Claire," he thought. "You're lying to me again," Sloane thought, a cold fury building inside her. "We'll see what you're up to." "Okay, take me home," she said sweetly. "I'll see you tomorrow." "Okay." Ethan sped away from her villa. "Ethan? Where's he going?" "On the highway." Sophie's car passed Ethan's going the other way. He didn't see her. "That looks like the way to my sister's house." "Is he going to see her again?" "No, I can't let her hurt him again." Sophie found the next exit and turned around, speeding after him. Ding dong. Claire opened the door, dressed in a sexy, pale pink silk nightgown, her hair falling loosely over her shoulders. "You're here. Come in." She pulled him inside. "Give me my pendant." "Not so fast. Have a seat. Dinner's almost ready." "You haven't eaten, have you?" Without waiting for an answer, she disappeared into the kitchen, leaving him on the sofa. "Come on, Ethan, dinner's ready." She returned and pulled him to the dining table. "Sit." He had no idea what she was planning, but he sat down. That bastard. He's sneaking off to see his ex-wife. Does he think I'm a pushover? Back at her villa, Sloane had opened the tracking app for her car and saw it parked right in front of Claire's house. She grabbed her purse, got into another car, and sped toward Claire's. Anyone can have Ethan, but not her. Claire Winters is not allowed. Halfway there, she pulled over and made a call. "Leah, want to know what your precious Ethan is up to right now? I'll take you to catch him in the act. I'm sending you the address." She hung up and sent Leah the location. Sloane and Leah may have been rivals, but her hatred for Claire ran much deeper. She was sure Leah would be on her side in this. It was a classic case of teaming up to eliminate a common enemy. "I'm not eating. Just give me the pendant," Ethan said. "What's the rush? It's in a while. Don't you want to chat?" Claire stood behind him, her hands on his shoulders, slowly trailing down his arms. "I may not hate you, but I don't love you either. We're divorced. There's nothing to talk about." He removed her hands and stood up. "Ethan, for 3 years, even if I didn't love you, I was never unfaithful, was I? I brought you here tonight to tell you. I've fallen in love with you. Can you come back?" she asked, looking up at him. "Don't you have Dylan, the one that got away?" "What do you think? Dylan is a scumbag. He deceived me. I've already sent him to prison and cut all ties with him. Ethan, please come back. I'll let you run the company. I'll stay home and cook and clean for you." "What do you say?" she pleaded, her eyes full of tenderness. "You're a grown woman. Why are you being so impulsive?" "No." He walked back to the sofa. She followed. "Ethan, I really am in love with you. After we divorced, I realized I can't live without you. I'm used to having you around. You'll get used to me not being around, too. Just give it time. Now, please give me my pendant. I have to go." He scooted away from her on the sofa. "Don't forget, you promised to do one thing for me in exchange for the pendant." "Fine. What is it?" "Remarry me. Be my husband again. Otherwise, you'll never see that pendant again." "You don't want to? Then there's another option." "What?" She didn't answer. Instead, she lunged at him, pushing him down onto the sofa. "We were married for 3 years and never did this. Tonight." She leaned in to kiss him. Screech. A car screeched to a halt outside. It was Sophie, delayed by traffic. But just as she got out, 2 more cars pulled up behind her. "What are you two doing here?" Sophie asked, seeing Sloane and Leah get out. "We're here to get our man, of course," Sloane said, pushing past her. Bang, bang, bang. "Claire Winters, you bitch. Give me back Ethan." "Claire, open up. I know he's in there. What are you doing to him?" Leah yelled, pounding on the door. Hearing the commotion, Claire got off Ethan and stormed to the door. He scrambled up and followed her. "Sloane Gallagher, Leah Ramsey, what the hell do you want?" Claire roared as she opened the door. "I want to know what you want. You're divorced. Why are you still trying to seduce him?" Sloane reached past her and pulled Ethan out of the house. "Sloane, let him go." "Claire, look at what you're wearing. You're shameless." Leah sneered, eyeing her nightgown. "I'm wearing it for my husband. If my husband likes it, I don't care what you think. You're disgusting." Wait, I can't leave yet, Ethan said, pulling his arm free from Sloane's grasp. You're not leaving? You want to stay with her? No, my pendant is still in there. I haven't gotten it back yet. What, Bondon? Ethan, don't agree to her terms. I'll buy you a new one. I'll buy you 100, Leah said, taking his other arm. He doesn't need you to buy him anything. I'll give him whatever he wants, Sloane said, grabbing his other arm. Let go of him. He'll always be a part of the Winters family. He doesn't need your handouts. Sophie rushed forward and tried to pull them off him. Let go of my husband. Claire joined the fray. Ethan, come with me. Ethan Vance, you slept with me. You have to come with me. No, he's mine. He's my husband. None of you can have him. The four women were now in a full-blown tug-of-war, with Ethan in the middle. Can you all just let me go? I think you're going to. Ow, whose fingernail just scratched my face. Suddenly, a fleet of 10 black sedans sped down the street and stopped in front of the house. An elderly man got out of the lead car, followed by black-suited bodyguards and 2 men in lab coats from the other cars. The 4 women stopped pulling. Excuse me, who posted this photo? The old man asked, holding out a phone displaying Claire's Instagram story. I did. What of it? Claire said defiantly. Miss, do you know where the owner of this pendant is? The 4 women all looked at Ethan. It's mine, he said. Is there a problem? The old man studied his face. The resemblance is uncanny. May I ask, have you had this pendant your whole life? The director of the group home said, I had it with me when I arrived there at the age of 2. Men, the old man said with a wave of his hand. A bodyguard stepped forward and plucked a hair from Ethan's head. Ow! The bodyguard handed the hair to one of the men in lab coats, who immediately got back into one of the cars. Who are you people? Sloane demanded. You'll find out shortly. 20 minutes later, the men in lab coats returned with a piece of paper. The old man read it carefully. Then, he turned to Ethan and bowed deeply. Young master. All the bodyguards followed suit. What is going on? Ethan asked, stunned. The women around him were equally shocked. Young master, please see for yourself. This is a DNA test confirming you are the son of Mr. Harrison, chairman of the Harrison Group in Boston. You are his long-lost son. The old man handed him the report. The women reluctantly let go of him. He took the paper. The Harrison Group? You don't mean the wealthiest family in Boston, do you? Sloane asked. The very same. The son of a billionaire, the 4 women said in unison. This. Ethan was speechless. Young master, may I see the pendant? Ethan looked at Claire. I'll get it, she said, running inside and returning a moment later. The old man took the pendant from her and produced another one from his pocket. He held them together, and they fit perfectly. Young master, your mother had these custom-made by a master artisan years ago. One was for you, with your family name engraved on the back. This one was for her future daughter-in-law. He turned to Ethan, his expression grave. Young master, your father is gravely ill. You must come with me to Boston immediately. What? Right now? Yes. Men, escort the young master. Several bodyguards moved forward. Wait, you can't take him. The women cried, rushing forward, but the bodyguards blocked them. Ethan, I have to go with them. Don't worry. We'll see each other again, Ethan said from the car window, giving them a small wave. The convoy sped away. Sloane watched them go, her fists clenched. She pulled out her phone. Book me the first flight to Boston tomorrow morning. She hung up and drove off. The other 3 women looked at each other, then did the exact same thing. After arriving in Boston, Ethan was taken straight to the hospital to see his ailing father and meet his mother for the first time. The 4 women who had followed him to the city spent 3 frantic days trying to find him, with no luck. Finally, they learned he had moved to the Harrison family estate. Without a moment's hesitation, they all rushed there. 4 luxury cars pulled up one after another outside the gates of the sprawling Harrison estate. From each car emerged a beautiful woman, each wearing a wedding gown and carrying a bouquet of flowers. It was Sloane, Leah, and the Winters sisters, Claire and Sophie. Looks like we all had the same idea, Sloane said, breaking the silence. Sloane, you should just go home. Ethan will never choose you. Claire shot back. Sis, you already heard him once. How dare you even show your face here? Sophie said to her sister. Sophie, Ethan will only ever be your brother-in-law. Stop dreaming. All right, if you two want to fight, go do it at home. Ethan is done with the Winters family for good, Leah interjected. Oomph. We'll see who he chooses. Then may the best woman win. Together, the 4 of them marched toward the gate. Stop. This is private property. No uninvited guests, a guard said, blocking their path. Hello. Please inform your young master that his wife, Claire Winters, is here to see him. Claire, have you no shame? Calling yourself his wife. Hello, I'm Ethan's girlfriend. I'm here to propose to him. Please let us through. No, I'm his girlfriend. Let him out here. Excuse me, I'm his girlfriend. We had a blind date. You can call and confirm with him right now. My name is Leah Ramsey, Leah pleaded. All right, wait here. I'll contact the head butler, the guard said, pressing his earpiece. Mr. Fletcher, there are 4 women at the gate, all claiming to be the young master's girlfriend. What should I do? Yes, I understand. He turned back to them. Please wait a moment. Mr. Fletcher is informing the young master. Thank you. Don't cry too hard when I'm the one who gets to go inside, Sloane said smugly. We'll see who's crying in a minute, Claire retorted. Ethan was talking with his mother when Mr. Fletcher, the old man who had brought him here, entered the room. Madam, young master. Mr. Fletcher, what is it? Ethan asked politely. Young master, there are 4 young ladies at the gate. They all claim to be your girlfriend. Would you like to see them? 4 of them. Ethan was shocked, though he knew exactly who they were. He just never expected them to follow him all the way to Boston. His mother chuckled. You're even more impressive than your father was. He had plenty of admirers in his day, but he never had 4 women show up at the house at once. Mom, don't tease me, Ethan said, embarrassed. All right, I'll stop, but you need to think carefully about who you truly like. Don't lead anyone on, but don't deny your own feelings either. I'll leave you to it. She gave his hand a gentle squeeze and left the room, Mr. Fletcher following her. Ethan walked over to the large mahogany desk and sank into the leather chair. I always felt like an orphan with no background, no status. I thought I was never good enough for any of them, so I always ran away from it. But now I'm the son of one of the wealthiest men in the country. We're equals. He leaned back, staring up at the crystal chandelier. But who do I choose? The end. The choice of who he should be with is left to you, the reader.